From WREL News and the Capital Broadcasting Podcast Network, this is your Coronavirus, North Carolina News Brief for Friday, June 26, 2020. I'm Cliff Baumgardner. Here's the latest from WREL.com. At 5 p.m. today, masks or face coverings will be required in North Carolina in public spaces and when social distancing isn't possible. People can wear medical masks or cloth face coverings, which can be handmade or store-bought. The face covering should cover the mouth and nose. Exemptions from wearing a mask include children under 11, while you're actively eating or drinking, while you're engaged in strenuous exercise, if you have health reasons such as trouble breathing, or religious reasons, and also children under 2 should not wear a mask. If you don't have a mask, other cloth coverings like scarves, bandanas, t-shirts, or towels can be used. Many people have an issue with the state mandate, including sheriffs in Halifax County and Sampson County, who said the governor's overreaching with his authority. However, there is overwhelming evidence that masks help prevent the spread of the virus. Other states and counties which have enacted similar orders have seen their case numbers fall. If you'd like to hear more about why masks are so effective against the virus, last Friday we put up a special episode, talking with an expert in the field. You can listen to that episode now wherever you get your podcasts. Wrapping up their work for this year's regular session early this morning, lawmakers sent yet another reopening bill to the governor as they headed for the exits, but several others were abandoned amid tensions between the House and Senate as the night wore on. The one bill that survived the end of the session would reopen gyms and fitness centers. Governor Roy Cooper vetoed a bill containing similar language last Friday, citing a provision in it that would limit the power of the governor and health officials to respond quickly to a surge in cases. The House failed Wednesday in an attempt to override his veto. The newer version, House Bill 806, contains the same reopening language but doesn't include the limits on the power of the governor or local health officials. The bill passed the Senate 35-12 with 7 Democratic votes. The House passed it early Friday morning with no debate, 75-32, sending it to Governor Cooper. Another bill currently on the governor's desk would reopen amusement parks and fairs, but it includes the same limiting language as the vetoed bills and will likely suffer the same fate in the coming days. Lawmakers will take next week off and return on July 7th to consider veto overrides. After that week, they will recess until September 2nd, when they'll return for 2 days, primarily to deal with any additional federal coronavirus relief funds. The number of people infected with the coronavirus in the Hispanic community continues to rise in Durham. A total of 77% of coronavirus cases in Durham County are within the LatinX community, according to Department of Public Health Director Rodney Jenkins. Last month, that number was at 67%. Hispanics only make up around 13% of the population, which means they are disproportionately affected by the virus. In comparison, white people who tested positive for the virus make up 12% of Durham County's COVID-19 cases, while making up a bulk of the residents. The black community represents 10% of COVID-19 cases in the county and around a third of the entire Durham population, according to U.S. Census data. While that percentage shows the black community is more affected by the virus than the white community, Latinos in Durham are by far the most vulnerable to the virus. People who are unemployed, who work in construction, or are janitors are also more likely to test positive for coronavirus, according to Durham's numbers. Construction and janitorial jobs tend to oversample for Latinx employees. Durham has had a mask requirement in place since April 20th, and Durham Mayor Steve Schul said 2 months later the city is still working to try and make sure everyone has a mask. Language barriers and cultural awareness make it difficult to get a mask to everyone. Schul said Latinx cases continue to be the city's most important concern. In the coming weeks, Schul said Durham will make an amendment to its order and require businesses to have signs on their door informing residents about the mask mandate. Numbers show there's also been an increase in community spread. Before April, many of the coronavirus cases in Durham were due to people bringing in the virus from outside of the county. Now, many of the cases are popping up in the community, and individuals are getting sick and they don't know why. Jenkins said that's due to community spread. Durham officials and community leaders asked the public to stand with the governor in staying in Phase 2 and the statewide face mask requirement. This has been your Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief for Friday, June 26, 2020. As always, if you like the information and resources you get from this show, let us know. Leave a rating and review wherever it is you listen. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our new episodes. Thanks for listening.